Star Wars Episode VIII, Legacy of Darkness. Chapter 2, A Fire in the Dark. The chamber remains cloaked in darkness. The dark saber hums faintly upon its pedestal, its presence anchoring something far more dangerous. Before it, Rey kneels.
You defied my orders.
Master,
Silence! I speak now. You have failed me, my apprentice. You ignored my warnings, left before I could complete your training, and got a member of your team killed. And for what? A fool's errand. Tell me, were you even able to accomplish your mission?
Yes, we have the instructions. The Jedi cultivation techniques.
And what do you plan to do with them now? What worth are they to you? Who will you share them with? How will you get them to the people? How will our sacrifice benefit anyone?
Rey says nothing.
Just as I thought. The blame is mine. I have been too soft with you. Your failure was inevitable. Jaren's death was inevitable because you refuse to embrace what is necessary.
The dark side. But it was a tool of the Sith, of the Emperor, of the enemy.
The dark side is a tool, yes. And like any tool, it can be used or it can be misused. Your instinct is to fear it, to reject it. But I offer you something greater. A life in which fear is your ally. A wider view of the Force. The power to protect the ones you love. In Amana, with my teachings, you could elevate them. Awaken the force that lies dormant within them. No more weakness, no more loss.
Rey hesitates.
What must I do, old master?
At last, the time has come for you to forge your own weapon. The blade you carried before was never truly yours. A relic, a scavenged fragment of a bygone age. But deep beneath the castle, in the caverns long forgotten, there once lay a nexus of dark side energy. It was cleansed, but the hatred of events past that once fed it did not vanish. They lingered, and from that hatred something new was born. Kyber crystals. Crystals that burn the color of fire. Unlike the typical colon crystal, which was weaker than true Kyber, these crystals rage with the fury of this world. And they are perfect for bleeding. However, I sense something else. Someone powerful, Who have you brought into our sanctuary?
His name is Ben Solo.
That name means nothing to me.
He is the nephew of Luke Skywalker.
Skywalker. Now that name I do know. The apprentice of Kenobi. I sense great turmoil within him. He stands at the edge of an abyss.
He killed his father when he lost control.
Then a great opportunity has presented itself, my apprentice. If he can be turned, he will become a powerful ally.
Ray does not answer immediately.
What would you have me do?
Win his loyalty. Make him feel welcome. Give him purpose. The armor of the one you lost. It will serve him well. And if he was trained as a Jedi, then he will already understand the process, the search, the choosing of a kyber crystal. Take him with you into the caverns beneath the castle. Let him guide you to what you seek.
Ray remains meaning, still and uncertain.
Go, and do not fail me again, my apprentice.
The room remains quiet. 4 wongs, low light, and distance carefully maintained. Ben, Amana, and Finn, seated apart from one another, each alone with their thoughts. Finn, sitting closest to the door, is the first to move.
My lady, you were in there a while. Are you okay? What did he say?
He wasn't pleased, but he gave me direction.
What kind of direction?
I need to make a new weapon.
Practical.
But he's not wrong. Anything we take on from here is going to be easier if you have a lightsaber.
Ray turns toward Ben.
Ben, I need your help. I need to find a kyber crystal for my new saber.
I thought it was none of my business.
That wasn't fair. I was under pressure and in a rush. It wasn't personal.
Ben studies her, still unsure.
I want to speak to him, your master.
Ray isn't surprised by the request and takes a moment to choose her next words carefully.
If you help me find the crystal, I'll ask if he's willing to speak with you.
Not an answer, but not a refusal.
And you can't keep walking around like that.
She turns, moving to their deer, and pulls something out. Jaren's old armor.
Put this over your robes. It'll protect you. And with the hood, it should be enough to hide your identity. We can't have anyone figuring out you're a Jedi.
Ray's words immobilize Ben. He asks himself if he even is a Jedi anymore. He doesn't take the armor immediately.
No, that's not happening.
He's coming with me. I can't have him looking like this.
Exactly. He is a liability.
Thanks.
Enough.
Ben is one of us now. And you know he can't go out looking like that. I'm not exactly a fan of the idea either. But better on him than collecting dust here.
Amana doesn't respond, but she doesn't argue further. Ben takes the armor reluctantly, almost as if he were afraid of it.
Finn, Amana, I need you to go into the city. See what's changed since we've been away. and find out what's going on with the Royalists.
The Willists.
The splinter cell within the remnant which he once believed assassinated his mother, but now it only reminds him of his father and what he did to him, stoking the fire of guilt and self-hatred in Ben's heart.
When we left, they were starting to gain ground here on Mustafar, now led by the youngest general ever to be accepted into the remnant army, a man named Hux. He's promising to bring back the glory days of the Empire.
They've started ruling Mustafar with an iron fist. Their patrols are everywhere, promising to put an end to the famine. But apart from the curfew and missing people, we haven't seen any results yet.
But people are desperate.
And desperate people are easy to control.
Find out what they've been up to and report back if you find anything noteworthy. I will take Ben and go to the caverns beneath the city to look for crystals for my new blade.
The room shifts. Orders given, lines drawn, and no more waiting.
Let's move.
Deep within the asteroid port of Polis Vex, where deals are made in whispers and loyalty is bought by the hour, a familiar cantina hums with quiet tension. A cloaked figure steps inside, hood drawn low, face obscured. Luke Skywalker, following Ben's trail. He moves with purpose, not hurried, not hesitant.
Well, look at you. Tell me, has dressing like a walking suspicion report become a new fashion trend around here? If people keep coming in dressed like that, I'm going to have new Republic inspectors knocking on my door every other day. Let me guess, you're here to get the Mustafar too.
A joke. But the Force moves in strange ways. Sensing a familiar presence, a thread he has been following across the stars, Luke answers with certainty.
Yes, I need to get to Mustafar.
That's unfortunate timing. The only two pilots crazy enough to make that trip already left. No telling when they'll pass through here again.
I see.
Luke raises his hand.
You will provide me with a ship to take me to Mustafar.
What's this? What are you doing with your hand? What, you think you're some kind of Jedi? I'm a Toydarian. Jedi mind tricks don't work on us. Only money. And right now, no amount of money is going to get you to Mustafar.
Luke lowers his hand. For a moment, even he allows himself the faintest trace of disappointment. He steps back from the bar, the path forward uncertain. For the first time since he began the hunt, Luke has no idea what comes next.
Boy, you there, the one with the hood. Come here a moment, will ya?
From a shadowed corner of the cantina, a familiar voice calls out.
Now listen, friend. 'Twasn't my intention to eavesdrop, honest. But did I hear right? You're looking for a way to Mustafar.
You heard correctly, but I require discretion.
Say no more. I understand exactly the kind of situation you're in. My ship can get you to Mustafar. No remnant patrols, no questions asked, if you know what I mean. Why don't we discuss the details over a game of sabacc?
I'm in a hurry.
Everyone's in a hurry these days. But my ship's being refueled as we speak. That gives us just enough time to agree on the price for this little favor I'll be doing for you.
A deal is forming, and with it, a new path to Mustafar. Beneath the surface of Mustafar, far below the shattered remains of the city, ancient caverns stretch into darkness. Ray and Ben move carefully through the tunnels, guided only by instinct and the faint, ever-present heat of the planet below. Ben fidgets as he walks, adjusting the gauntlets, shifting the weight of unfamiliar armor.
Is it too tight?
No, that's not it. It just feels like it belongs to someone else. Which I guess it did.
Ray hesitates.
It's yours now. If you're staying with us, you'll need to get used to it.
But why this, though?
What do you mean?
Of all the armor you could have chosen, why this one? You hate Palpatine. Everything he stood for? So why wear the armor of his guard?
Ray slows. For a moment, it seems like she won't answer.
When the Emperor died, a contingency order was sent out. Every member of his inner circle was given the same command. The Imperial harem and the children that he left behind, they were to be eliminated. Some followed the order. Others saw an opportunity to gain influence. The man who found me was one of them. A newly christened shadow guard. He was ordered to kill me, but something in his programming broke. He couldn't do it. So he took me and kept me hidden for 9 years, until the Royalists found us. He made sure I got away, but he didn't.
Ben says nothing, but something in him shifts. A sense of recognition, loss, and empathy.
I understand.
Then help me understand something.
What?
Why can't I just take the first crystal we find? If they're all the same, why does it matter which one I choose?
That's not how it works. At least, that's not how it was explained to me. The crystal doesn't belong to you. You don't choose it, it chooses you. For a lightsaber to work properly, it has to resonate with its wielder. If that connection isn't there, it's just a weapon, not an extension of you.
Then, how do I find the right one?
You don't exactly. You've stopped looking. Now, close your eyes. Reach out. And it should call to you.
Ray closes her eyes. She reaches outward, beyond the cavern, beyond the heat, beyond herself, into something unwanted answers. Not light, nor guidance, but danger.
Ben!
The ground trembles. From the molten rock, figures begin to rise, charred, twisted, and alive. The dead reborn in fire. Moving through the lower levels of the city, Finn and Amana begin to notice something unusual. A large crowd gathered ahead, pressed tightly into the central plaza. Stormtroopers lined the perimeter, weapons drawn. Civilians forced into silence. And above them, a voice begins to speak.
People of the Remnant, for too long you have been told that your suffering was necessary, that your hunger, your loss, your hardship were simply the price of survival. You were told to be patient, to trust those in power. And what did that trust bring you? nothing. The Republic exploits you. The Hutts bleed you dry. And those who once claimed to lead the Empire, they have abandoned you. They hid behind titles and traditions while you starved, while you suffered. You were given systems designed to fail you, governments that pretended to serve you while feeding on your labor. That ends today. The old remnant is gone. We have taken control. The age of decay is over, and those who clung to it will answer for what they have done.
At the center of the square, a raised execution platform. Bound prisoners are forced forward, former officials of the Imperial Remnant, and standing above them, a figure in white Mandalorian armor, still watching, waiting.
They've completely taken over. We can't just stand here, we have to do something.
We don't have a plan.
That doesn't matter now. Let's move.
Idiot.
Finn pushes forward first, forcing his way through the crowd and breaking into a sprint. Amana follows, a heartbeat behind him. They vault onto the execution platform, landing between the prisoners and their executioner. The white-armored Mandalorian steps forward. He doesn't rush, doesn't react with surprise. He studies him and turns to his unit.
Stand again. I'll deal with these two.
The crowd remains, watching silently as the platform becomes an arena. Finn closes the distance first, vibroblade in hand, striking fast and direct. The white-armored Mandalorian meets him without hesitation. An energy shield flares to life along his left arm, catching Finn's strike and turning it aside with controlled force. In his right hand, a long Mandalorian spear, each movement calculated to break his opponent's rhythm. Amana fires from the flank, her heavy blaster forcing him to divide his attention. But the shield holds, every shot absorbed or redirected. Finn presses forward again, faster now, trying to overwhelm him before he can reset. But the Mandalorian steps inside his reach and drives him back with a single crushing blow. Amana adjusts, shifting position and firing again. But he pivots, shield raised, absorbing the blast as he advances. Closing the distance, the shield deactivates as he changes tactics. Flame erupts from this gauntlet. A wall of fire surges toward them, forcing both Finn and Amana to halt.
We don't have a choice. Amana, take my hand.
Do it.
They take each other by the hand and muster up what little force they have and give their all in one final push. And the Mandalorian is thrown backward across the platform, slanting into the far edge. Before he can recover, blaster fire cuts across the platform. New fighters rush in from the street, 3 figures moving with purpose.
All right, people, move, move!
The Mandalorian rises, slower now.
They're Force users, and they have reinforcements. Fall back!
The white-armored Mandalorian withdraws with the last of his men, leaving the platform scarred and smoking, littered with the signs of a fight that ended too quickly for the crowd to fully understand it. The prisoners, still bound, stare in disbelief. The people of Mustafar do not cheer. They simply watch. One of the fighters who had rushed in to help steps up onto the platform and approaches Finn and Amana with his blaster lowered. He moves with urgency, but not with panic. Confident and focused.
Hey, thanks for stepping in when you did. You bought us the time we needed to reach the plaza.
Finn takes the offered hand.
Poe Dameron, and I think we might.
Paige?
Amana has stopped looking at Poe. Her eyes are fixed on the woman standing just behind him.
Is that you?
Well, hey there, Lil Rose.
Rose?
I thought you stayed at the academy.
I did, until I realized that you were right.
Wait, I don't understand. Why did she call you...
Whatever answer was about to come is swallowed by a roar so loud and so sudden that it cuts across the entire plaza like a blade. A sound of grief, of rage, and of something charging straight toward them through the streets of Mustafar. Back below the surface, the caverns erupt into chaos. Charred figures surge forward from the molten rock, twisted bodies animated by something unnatural. Ben meets them head-on, his blade cutting through their brittle limbs, driving one back, then another, forcing space where there is none.
Don't let the fire touch you.
He adjusts instantly, more careful now, keeping distance from the burning cracks that pulse across their bodies. Rey moves differently, faster and more controlled. She anticipates them, striking before they can close in, breaking their momentum. More pushed forward from the molten rock, drawn not by strategy but by instinct. Together they adapt, but Ben presses from the front, holding their attention. Rey circles, cutting them down one by one. The last of them collapses, their movement failing as whatever drives them fades. The cavern grows still again. Heat lingers in the air, but the threat is gone. And then something else. A pull, not from the creatures, but from deeper within the cavern.
I think I feel it.
Rey moves forward, drawn by something she cannot see, but cannot ignore. Ben watches her carefully, but says nothing. Deeper into the cavern, a luminous glow of a group of crystals calls out to her. She reaches for them, and this time they answer. A single kyber crystal, burning with a deep ember-like glow. For a moment, nothing else exists.
Rey!
Amana's voice erupts from the communicator on Rey's wrist.
We're near the outer plaza. We're under attack by a Wookiee.
Wait, did she just say a Wookiee?
She did. What is a Wookiee doing on Mustafar?
I've got a bad feeling about this. We need to get to them now.
Rey doesn't hesitate. Crystal in hand, they turn and run toward the surface, toward the city, and toward whatever is waiting for them.